is the top of the saucer section, isn't it?
Yes.
So the lift should be arriving upwards.
Yes.
So if it arrives upwards really fast and opens, he's not going to fly out that way. That's not the momentum.
No, that's
He's
true.
going to carry on going up.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, James.
You all right?
I'm good, thanks.
I hope. Are you all right? As well? Oh, gosh. That's a good sign. No, everyone's just left.
No, you can't catch it. I'm very contagious.
Oh, I see. Oh.
They've left now.
I got the dad joke. I thought I was the dad.
I haven't got kids, but dad jokes are good.
Yeah. Contagion. I called it Contagion when I was younger because I didn't know what it meant. When I was a kid, I was like, oh.
And calling it Contagion doesn't actually help you learn what it means because no one knows what that word means because it doesn't exist.
Well, Contagion?
Yeah.
No.
Like if I ask my parents, what's Contagion?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's actually Contagion.
Yeah.
Yes. A good episode, I thought.
Yeah, it was. It's nice to see the Romulans back.
It is. But they're back, but they don't do much. I think we did see them in the one episode, but we didn't see their faces. We just saw the ship. It was a fake Romulan ship in where Silence is released.
Yes.
And then we see them in this episode, and that's all we're going to see of the Romulans for the whole of season 2.
Really?
Yeah. After their cliffhanger season
We're
1.
back!
Yeah, we're back. Not really.
Actually, they're in one episode, technically, because the other one was an image generator.
Exactly. It's not real.
So in one episode, and what is their beef with? So I understand the neutral zone is like no one claims it, no one's allowed to.
It's
own
neutral.
It.
Yeah.
Why are it always seems that the Romulans are like, we own the neutral zone
because they're arrogant, aren't they? That's just the way they are, isn't it?
Okay, so they don't actually have any claim to it. They just say they do.
No,
and they always threaten as well. So I don't know if there's a peace treaty between the Federation and the Romulan. There must be some kind of treaty
to allow the neutral zone to be in place.
Yeah, and it's not.
It must be an old treaty because the neutral zone was there even during Kirk's era,
right? Okay,
as well. Yeah.
Now, is it breaking the treaty to enter?
That's what I thought because I was a bit confused.
Yeah.
Now that you asked that question, I kind of put it to the side, but now you ask, thinking, because it's normally. I'm pretty sure in other episodes, being in a neutral zone is seen as an aggressive act. Yeah.
It's like no man's land. No one owns it, but no one goes in it.
Yeah. You shouldn't be going in it.
It's a bit of a waste of land.
Or if you do go into neutral zone, normally there's like an agreement. Because it's like, we will allow... I think there's one episode in Next Generation that said, we will allow one ship in on either side to be...
The Defector. That's got...
Is it that one?
I don't know if it's that one, but I know that's got Romulan stuff going on, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it made me think, well, the Romulan ship in this episode is very, very aggressive. And if it wasn't for the ship system failures, it would have just shot outright on the Federation, on the thing. So I'm thinking, so this Romulan ship is willing to plunge the whole Romulan Empire into war.
But there was a part, wasn't there, said they may have unintentionally tried to fire because of the system issues.
That's true.
I think Riker or someone on the bridge said it may have not been intentional that they wanted to fire because as they were about to fire, they closed.
Yeah.
That's
one of my favourite parts of this episode. It's where the Romulans, with all their power and technology, they can't even control their cloak. So they start cloaking and then come back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
So, this is, I enjoyed this episode. I think some people think not that highly on this episode, but I enjoy this episode.
Yeah, but they're wrong though, aren't they?
Yeah. But I think I like the whole, I think it's the Iconians, that the mythical race that does it for me. Like,
what do you think of Picard's decision to blow it all up?
Well,
even the tricorder, destroy that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of like ruins any future. Well, you think it will ruin any future tellings of the story, but the Iconians are brought back into Star Trek again.
Are they?
Yeah, in a Deep Space Nine episode.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I only realised until you'll probably remember when you watched the episode, but it's an episode, a season 4 episode.
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Wow. Yeah, called To the Death.
Okay.
So it's when they go on a planet in the Gamma Quadrant. I think they're trying to destroy this gateway that the Dominion have hold of. The first time you see Weyoun is that episode, and he's killed off. So this is before
that's number one.
Yeah, I think it was Weyoun 5 at that time.
I thought it was interesting what Picard said when he was at the gate, and he kind of thought, actually, having looked at what I can see here, it doesn't look like there were a warring race.
Yeah, because they're considered to be warring, aren't they?
Yeah.
But as they said, it's the victors who write history.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean there weren't a warring race, but
everything from the what they could see, it doesn't look like they were more of a different way to explore than the warp drive conventional means.
I think Picard was right to
do that,
blow it all up.
Yeah,
for any technology that is far, far advanced compared to what races are at that time, it doesn't matter if you keep it and think we want to do it for research or whatever. It will always, always, always eventually get into the wrong hands and be abused.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you see throughout history, any form of power or technology, the people who make it, for the most part, usually have got good intentions. They think, oh, this is great, we can use it for X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
It will always be abused by people.
Yeah.
And for for this technology that is way, would give the Romulans or anyone who used it a huge edge, I think Picard was right to blow it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And let everyone advance at the natural rate that they seem to be advancing at.
Yeah. It'd be good if this was like a continuation of that other storyline in the last Outpost, the Con Empire, because he came out of like a portal, didn't he?
That's true. That wasn't the same race, was it?
No, it wasn't.
But it
was
could be
the
good
Con
if it was...
Empire. But it'd be cool if
if
they could have just gone, oh, it's part of the Con Empire.
Yeah.
And kind of like incorporated the continuation of that storyline, maybe.
Yeah. Like maybe in like a few of the seasons, they have one episode kind of dedicated just to revealing a little bit extra about that particular empire.
So yeah, this is the second time we've seen the Yamato at the beginning of the episode, which is the sister ship of the Enterprise.
Yeah, when was the first time?
It was the Where Silence Is Least again.
Right, okay.
So, but it was the fake one. So
okay.
Fake Romulans.
So
real Romulans in this episode, and fake Yamato.
Real Yamato.
Yeah, real Yamato, which actually gets destroyed in a few seconds, which is the first time we see a Galaxy-class ship get destroyed.
Which I think is a good thing.
What? What?
No, hear me out.
Die.
Right?
I like death.
Yeah, no, because in everything,
you mean
all the good guys, or whenever you watch something, it's good. Like it's inbuilt into us that good triumphs over evil. Yeah. So good guys will always win, which is fine. But unless there's some kind of sacrifice, I think in films and media, it loses its or can you lose its meaning?
Well, if the good guys are always almost perfect and good, and there's no sacrifice or
so I don't mean to bring blasphemy in, but in Star Wars,
the new ones or the old ones,
Rogue One film.
Okay, yeah.
That's really good because as far as I'm not a huge Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars.
Okay, yeah. I don't know too much about it, but apparently it's quite true to the lore and all that. In that, a whole load of people died to get the Death Star plans.
Oh yes. So that's not Rogue One, is it? Is it?
Rogue One is the film. It's like a standalone film, which slots between two of the films.
I've seen that one. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I've seen that film and I thought it was good.
So in that one, all the good guys die.
Yes.
Apart from maybe like one who manages to get
at the end.
Get the Death Star plans. Spoiler. So that was a good example of all the good guys dying, because
they were good of the many.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And when Spock dies.
Yes.
That was a very good example of killing off a main character. I mean, I know they bring him back.
Yeah.
But it's slightly different how they bring him back, isn't it? Like he's not exactly Spock because he doesn't have a lot of his memories.
Well, even in that sense, when they bring Spock back, there was Kirk had to make sacrifice. His son, his ship.
Right.
There was sacrifices even to get Spock back, in a way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Which is why when I saw the Yamato explode, I'm not like, yay, good guys are dying, but I'm like, that's, it's good to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone survives, everyone's happy,
and nothing's gone wrong.
It
wasn't a scenario where there was a good guys and bad guys. It was happenstance. It was unfortunate because they got scanned by a probe and they didn't know that was the cause of it.
And then go out exploring then. That's what Q says.
Yeah,
it's a big world out there. Maybe you should just go home and hide under your bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yamato on for a bit longer, maybe a third of the way into the episode, have it blow up.
Okay.
So then we get a bit more, like for us as an audience, we get a bit more attached to the
character
ship as well. Yeah.
Captain Donald.
Yeah. Even have some of the Enterprise crew beam over to try and help them out.
Yeah. And Worf goes, Captain, or something like, why did he do that? Because it exploded, and then he said, Captain, look. And it's still exploding. It's like, yeah, we just saw it, but maybe the effects were meant to make the saucer section like come in towards the Enterprise or something, the way it was blowing up. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. Because I didn't do you remember that bit when he's like... No. But I thought it was quite a cool effect how it like dissolved, the saucer section dissolved. So Donald, the captain of the Yamato, is concerned that the Romulans will get hold of this technology. And I think Picard looks at the logs and wants to convince Picard to take over the mission because of the system failures they've got.
Yes.
And they don't say what the technology is, do they, on the onset?
Yeah, I think Picard does mention about them being able to travel anywhere without ships.
That's right.
When he's talking with Wesley.
Yeah. The Yamato is destroyed, and then another ship could be detected, or is decloaking. Is that right? Another vessel's coming into range as it blew up.
Yes.
And it's the Romulan commander.
So they think it's the Romulan, or Worf thinks it's the Romulan.
Yeah.
That blew them up.
But he gets denied.
Yeah. Comment. There's no evidence, Mr. Worf.
Yes. Unless they've worked out a way of firing weapons while cloaked. And then Picard's like, enough!
Silence, Worf!
Yes. So I'm pretty sure that's 2 denials in that instance.
Yeah, that's true.
But the woman who played the Romulan commander, she plays a Romulan again. She's a British actress.
Okay.
She was actually in convention I went to as a guest in Blackpool last year. Caroline Seymour is her name. Yeah, she plays a Romulan again in that Troy episode, Facing the Enemy, the one where she's looks like a Romulan. Yeah. So she's quite good in that as well, I think. I think she's quite good at playing a Romulan. Okay. And that is also noted as the best Troy episode, I think. It's not many good Troy episodes. But yeah, I think that one's a really good one. But she's also plays a scientist in the episode First Contact in season 4, I think. Troy senses, Romulans, and Troy senses she's anxious. Okay. The Romulan, so she can sense the emotions of someone on a different ship. So
which then means she could sense the emotions of everyone on the Romulan ship.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm assuming then that she can hone and target that skill to one specific person.
It seems like it. Well, we find out, I think, when we do our review on our next episode. Troy can target her emotions on other people, but and they'll try and work out what caused the explosion, and LaForge thinks it's probably a design fault. But then they start having problems, like Picard tries to go through the door.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether it's the date thing. You know, it came out in the, was it late 80s or 90s?
89, I think it was.
89.
Yeah.
Looking at it through today's eyes, you think, okay, your door doesn't work. That never happens. Why don't you report it? You know, this other ship had problems. It's a bit like, but if I was watching it in 89 when it first came out, would that have occurred to me? Don't know.
Yeah. When I first watched it, I thought, I've seen this episode before and I like it. I was like, why is the door problem happening now? Because the probe hasn't scanned them.
Mm-hmm.
My mind was, that's where my head space was. The only reason it's been put there is to make us worry.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's something going wrong.
Yeah. And then later on, he orders his tea. And it comes out as a little plant.
Yes. And that is the first time he's asked for tea Earl Grey.
I thought so, yeah. Because thinking, I don't remember him ordering it before.
Yeah, so it's the first time.
Doesn't even happen.
He didn't get it.
Next bit got me slightly confused because Picard says, okay, he says, let's go to this planet to try and, I guess in his mind, he's thinking, we can try and find a solution to whatever our ship has got now, because we seem to have it as well.
Yeah.
He's basing it on a hunch rather than any real evidence.
Yeah.
And then we find out that will take them deeper into the neutral zone, very close to the Romulan border.
Yeah.
To me, Picard is more of a by-the-book person. You know, if it was Kirk, I could probably understand the decision. But with Picard, part of me would think, actually, I'd think he'd probably go back to a starbase or something.
Yeah.
Rather than, although they tie in this archaeology side, which is probably his
passion,
yeah.
This is also the first time something new about Picard is brought as well, isn't
right,
it?
Okay.
So I don't think archaeology has been brought up.
Okay.
Until this episode as well.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, as a hobby. Yeah. But his reasoning was that going deeper in the neutral zone might help prevent a war from happening.
Obviously, that wouldn't it?
That was what he said.
You know what? Let's go into the Romulan space. That'll even help prevent a war as well.
Oh, might not prevent a war is if we just exterminate the whole Romulan Empire.
Exactly.
There'll be no war. There.
No risk of war if we're all dead.
Yes. That's a good idea, Captain. Worf would be like, yes.
Yes.
It's not the Picard we know necessarily in the future seasons in how he should behave. It's a bit risk.
Yeah. Although, I mean, having thought about it some more,
it seems like a Riker move than a Picard move, isn't it?
Yeah. Riker's a bit more reckless. And I never think he should be a captain. Like in that episode of is it Best of Both Worlds, I think, isn't it? Where Commander Shelby rips him apart verbally. Says, if you're not ready to be captain,
move out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting though, because in that episode, Best of Both Worlds, even though we're not meant to be talking about that episode, but it's interesting because he makes choices in that episode that are more safe than risky.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she said, you've been playing it safe. And then Picard, and obviously at the end of that first part, Picard already knew what he was going to do. He said, he already knew how Riker would operate, and the deflector shield weapon didn't work.
Yes.
Until the second episode, where he does something which is was a bit more out of his character to surprise Picard. It's interesting. A lot of people think that Best of Both Worlds episode is a Picard episode, but it's more like a Riker episode. It's all about him, really, in a way.
That's true. Him learning to be a captain.
Yeah.
And what that means.
And his growth. So why am I here still? I don't know. Maybe Riker does get better. Maybe because we're the first two seasons, maybe he's a bit more reckless. Because I think he gets better as a commanding officer in the next few seasons. Gosh, yeah. Then the only thing that's a bit of a downer in this episode,
Picard has a conversation with Wesley Crusher.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Hi, Captain. Can I talk to you for a minute, please?
How do you guys cope with the death of? Oh, get over it. Just
Fine, life doesn't matter, does it? I've seen people die all the time. Snap out of it, Wesley.
that was the only scene I thought. Well, it's quite an imperative scene because you find out he's an archaeologist, and he asked for Earl Grey for the first time.
Yeah, and it's a very valid question. We get to the planet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've rewritten the whole episode. Yeah. But unfortunately, they're not. They get to the planet, and then a probe is launched.
And then Geordi.
Great scene.
He's like in engineering trying to get to the door. Right, that door's not open.
First of all, it's like, Captain, no. Because he's trying to work out what's caused the issue with the ship. All these inconvenient things happened at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Inconveniently, it's almost like there's a vendetta against LaForge. Uh-huh. But yeah, communication cuts out. Door doesn't work in engineering. He has to go to another door.
Turbolift throws him around everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never liked it whenever he loses his visor, he always feels around like this. And I think I said this for Armor Skin of Evil as well. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to imagine, if it was pitch black, I'll do that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was an entertaining scene. I think even you notice the set's completely destroyed anyway.
Is it?
Like when he flies at the top of the turbolift, it's already smashed up and all the... Oh. I don't know if they take more than one take, but the turbolift is already damaged at the top.
Mr. LaForge, I'm going to assist you in your research. A probe has been launched from Iconian. I'm going to capture it.
No, sir, wait! Captain! Captain! Coming through! Bridge! Emergency! Stop it! Damn it!
Tractor beam ready, sir.
Geordi, you hold. Destroy the probe, sir, quickly!
Wolf, target faces.
Faces locked on target.
Fire! Welcome to the bridge, Mr. LaForge.
But here's a question. When he gets to the bridge and the door's open, he flies forwards. Does that mean the turbolift has arrived at the bridge from the side?
Yeah, because you would think he'd fly out towards Wolf rather than down the slope. Is that what you mean?
No, what I mean is the bridge is the top of the saucer section, isn't it?
Yes.
So the lift should be arriving upwards.
Yes.
So if it arrives upwards really fast and opens, he's not going to fly out that way. That's not the momentum.
No, that's true.
He's going to carry on going up.
That's true, yeah.
So I'm not sure why he gets flown outwards.
To dramatic effect. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it makes no sense, but it was an entertaining scene.
Yeah.
Geordi doesn't really get treated very well in the whole of Next Generation. He's always something bad happens.
Oh yeah.
Engineers always get badly treated, don't they, in Star Trek?
They're one of the most valuable people.
Yeah, he gets thrown away. Yeah. You know, he's been tortured.
What's the episode where he gets turned into an alien?
Identity Crisis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened to him. You know, he's on a planet, isn't he, with a Romulan.
Yes.
Goes blind there. He gets kidnapped by Romulans to be brainwashed.
And in the film.
Yeah. Gets denied by women all the time. Oh. Leah Brahms wasn't interested.
Well, I mean,
that was dodgy anyway.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a whole reason why.
It's like there's a program of me running in the holodeck.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, true. It's true. Maybe he deserves all that being thrown about by the Enterprise.
One thing I did like is as soon as he says, blow up the probe, you can see Picard thinking, okay, do I trust this guy? Yeah, I think I trust this guy. Blow it up. Yeah. And that speaks a lot to
trust.
Yeah, and the relationship Picard has with his crew.
Yeah.
There's another episode of I can't remember what it was, where the Enterprise gets trapped somewhere and the waves keep getting stronger and stronger.
Oh, yes.
And then Data says, drop the shields.
Drop the shields. Yeah.
And Picard's like, what?
That's like the opposite of what you want to do. Yeah.
But he does it, obviously, and they survive.
Yes.
So it's another episode of another example of Picard, from his knowledge, shouldn't listen to this, but because I trust you in your skill.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a good leader.
Exactly. It wouldn't work if Picard trusted them and they were being taken over by some entity. So that's when I think Geordi works out that to destroy the probe, if they didn't destroy it, then they would have been worse off, because what's happening is there's a program rewriting the computer.
Yeah.
And
at this stage, it's a very basic level.
Yeah, because they downloaded the logs in a certain section, whereas the probe would have got all systems simultaneously. So basically, they would have accelerated the malfunctions. So
interestingly, I'm not sure if they just thought of this, and I'm not sure if the episode addresses this. The function of the probe is to, is it to share their knowledge, or is it to actually just rewrite ships' computers?
I don't know.
Because it could be a hostile probe then, theoretically.
It could be. Maybe it was trying to exchange information, but then it was incompatible.
Maybe at their time, this was actually a way to communicate. So the Federation called it a probe because that's all they know. Whereas back then, it may have been a communication device, or it could actually be a weapon to protect, like a self-defense weapon.
Yeah.
If it was a self-defense thing, it then fits in with Picard's new theory that the Iconians weren't aggressive, because if they were getting attacked a lot, then they may have developed this as a defensive strategy.
That makes sense. I don't think it was addressed as far as I can remember.
Wow.
The Romulans also have the same issue, don't they?
Yeah.
So they said that's because they downloaded into they must have somehow downloaded into the Yamato's logs.
Probably, yeah. They're deceptive, so...
Yeah, they must have done some cheekiness. They beamed down to the planet to investigate.
Yeah, Picard, Worf and Data.
So, and then they work out there's these three languages that already exist that are similar. They must have originated from Iconia.
I guess a similar thing would be like looking at a language and thinking, there's a bit of Spanish here and a bit of Portuguese.
Yeah.
And a bit of Italian.
So,
and then
that's the root.
Trying to make
and then work out the root languages.
Yeah.
But Data even gets it wrong. That's quite handy, isn't it? The doorway's now appeared. Yeah.
I think what would have been cool is if they had just sent a couple of ensigns through each of the doors.
Yeah.
To see where they end up.
Red shirts.
Yeah.
Or yellow shirts.
Off you go.
Yeah.
That's what I find funny about later on in this episode, where Worf picks up Data to carry him through, and Worf says, "How do we know this is the real Enterprise?" And Picard's basically like, "We don't know. Off you go. We're going to find out, aren't we?"
Yeah. Yeah, because he has a go at Data, doesn't he, about being foolish.
Did he?
Yeah, so don't put your hand through the portal.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah,
and then go through.
Yeah.
So it's kind of gone against his own advice in a way.
Yeah. But I guess because of the situations, they're going to blow up anyway, so...
Yeah, because he doesn't want the Romulans to get hold of it. I forgot the other line that Riker said was quite good. I think it was just before the Romulans was about to shoot the Enterprise.
He just didn't care. It's like,
So I don't do about it.
I don't care what you're ranting at.
This has been really poor doctor, like medical extras in sick bay recently.
Yeah.
That woman with that had one episode was scanning.
Yeah.
And this guy. So then the beam hits Data.
I have access.
Yeah, that's right. And he starts getting rewritten.
Yeah.
Picard decides that, like you said before, destroy everything. Wolf destroys the tricorder, and then they're going to Data keys in the instructions to keep the bay door closed while the probes take launch.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice and convenient that to override a system and keep it's just a few buttons that are all in this one panel. And then
it's like 3 buttons.
Yeah. And to force launch the probes, it's just another combination of a few buttons, which all happen to be.
Yeah, and Picard said, I hope you didn't stutter.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like, it's like 6 buttons in total to launch a probe and even close the bay doors.
Yeah. But when Picard says that Worf needs to get Data back to the ship because Data's their only hope, I'm thinking, why is Data their only hope?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh. Fix him anyway, don't they?
No, they don't. He fixes himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true, because he just basically gets restart.
Yeah. The IT everywhere. That's the best thing to do.
Turn it off and on again.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hello, IT. Yeah, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hello, IT?
Something's wrong with my computer.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
One thing I didn't like is at the end then, they tell the Romulans what to do as well.
Yes.
Of how to restart everything. And then the next shot is end credits with the Enterprise flying off and then the Romulan ship flying off.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay. I was expecting to see them power down, and power everything back up again.
It was like, oh, we're all happy now. Let's go our separate ways.
Yeah, ran out of time. I was like, okay, then fair enough.
What would you do anything differently?
I'd have made it a bit more apparent why Picard chose to stay in the neutral zone, given that it could provoke a war, and I know the Federation really don't want to go to war.
Yeah, a bit trivial how it was treated a little bit maybe in the episode.
Yes, I would have changed it so that it was a bit more complex to override the launch bay doors.
Yeah, mine was already what I mentioned earlier about maybe make it about the like the Tukon Empire.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because the Guardian came out of the portal,
so
maybe it could be like, maybe they could have elaborated. Maybe there's another Guardian or something they can talk to.
It could have been a 2-parter episode.
Yeah.
But what would be the cliffhanger? Maybe in part 1, it's all about the ship, and at the end of part 1, the Yamato blows up.
Okay.
Because adding more stuff into it, you do need to have another episode.
Yeah, that's
Can't
true.
fit that much in 45 minutes.
No.
Oh, you can cut out Wesley. So there's
what do you think they did really well in this episode?
I already mentioned this, blowing up the Yamato.
Okay, yeah. You like death?
I love death. Like when, big spoiler.
Because it's families as well, families and children.
They are, yeah. Many people in mourning. That's my heart's desire. Big spoiler alert. When Data dies, Nemesis. I really like that.
Oh, okay.
No, seriously, I like it when they have the boldness to kill off main characters or main ships or something that is very integral to.
Fair enough.
Because that's real life, isn't it? Real life isn't.
It's true.
We all, well, It does to some degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like it when, like in films and series, everyone wins and everyone survives.
There's no consequence.
It loses the tension that someone could die.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
It could be argued another way sometimes in some films, which more modern films are like this. It's like they die, but they somehow come back to life.
Yeah.
Somehow other way they're brought back.
Uh-huh.
Or it's almost like, well, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Taking everything out of
time travel.
Yeah, it's like, they're always going to come back. There's always be a way to bring them back somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point then?
Mm-hmm.
Because kind of like, there's no stakes if you keep taking them away. Yeah.
And the blowing up the Iconian gateway, Picard's decision. I thought that was good.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was good. For me, I like the story of the Iconian race, really. They're trying to work out what's going on, all the mystery behind it, and they work out it's the Iconian race.
Mm-hmm.
Any lines that stood out to you?
No.
Okay.
Some funny ones.
T.L. Grey got me. It's like, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There
the beginning.
Yeah, the beginnings. That's the only one. Anything you found funny?
Yeah, a few things in this episode. So, the doctor that didn't care what plastic was about. Yeah. Data saying, I have access. And then get zapped. My favourite part where Worf says, we've not established that this is the correct Enterprise. And Picard says, this will be the test. Yes. Off you go.
Yeah, for me, I've got a mixture. This is between the funny and a bad acting moment.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just like an editing issue or a bad acting moment, but it's when Riker's like, quick, destroy the probe now, destroy it. Romulan Commander's just like standing there for about 5 seconds before doing anything. Like, oh, I don't even notice the delay. It's like, quick, destroy the probe. It's just staring there for a bit, and then goes, oh, and then shoots it, and then shoots the probe.
I've got an explanation for that.
What's
the Universal's translator is being
delayed.
Affected by the
yeah. But any ultimate bad acting moments? Was it that guy in sickbay? Or...
That's true. Yeah, that was actually bad acting. No, yeah, that and Wesley Crusher.
Oh, okay. Wesley's getting really bad treatment this season.
Just Wesley Crusher. Like he's not bad when he's on the helm.
Yeah,
that's fine.
He doesn't talk much.
Yeah, and he's just reporting information. But
it's when he gets to personal stuff.
Yeah. What about you? Bad acting?
That was the Romulan.
Oh yes. Yeah.
But I don't think she's a bad actress. I think it's just the way it was. Could be just how it was edited.
Maybe. Yeah.
What would you say is the moral lesson?
If in doubt, switch it off and on again.
Yeah. I put, if you go looking for trouble, trouble will come looking for you, which is exactly what happens to the Yamato by going into the neutral zone.
Well,
and it destroyed them and the whole families and children. That's the best I could come up with. There's not really a lot of morality. There's not really a moral to the story in that episode, really.
There wasn't. No,
I stretched for something.
There was a tiny bit from Picard on the planet where he says people tend to fear what they don't understand.
Oh,
because he was talking about the Iconians and people don't really understand them.
Oh, I see. Yes,
but that was a small chunk. It doesn't really. I don't feel that the whole episode is really giving that message. Maybe the message could be, if you're playing in someone else's backyard, you better be ready for a fight.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a good one. Just come up with some random ones.
Yeah. You guys got any ideas, any thoughts? What was the moral?
If there was a moral.
Was there anything?
Yeah, let us know. It'd be good to hear from you guys. How many women did Riker sleep with? Obviously none. He didn't have the opportunity. And Worf was denied...
A couple of times.
Was it up at twice?
I think it was twice.
Yeah, got denied by Riker by saying the scans were inconclusive, and Picard when he says enough. Yeah. And there was no weedy security guards.
No, disappointing, really.
I posted a question to Facebook to about 10 Star Trek groups.
Okay.
A poll just before I arrived here tonight. I should do bit more notice in future, just to see what other people thought of this episode. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was good. I wouldn't say it's like the best episode out there, but I would say it's probably on the higher level of the episodes so far.
Definitely above average.
Yeah, above average. And you feel the same?
Yeah.
Let's see what other people think.
Oh.
So, this could be really bad. Could be like one person voting, but this is what we got. So, what do you do?
Don't sound too happy, James.
I put this up an hour ago, so got 3 votes.
So
that's
one from you, one from me.
No, I didn't put any votes on there. So 2 gone for. So it's out of 5. 2 gone for 4.
So what's good? Is 5 like the best?
The best, yeah. So 4. Yeah, 2 gone for 4.
Okay.
And 1 for 3.
All right. Yeah.
So it's about what we think. Yeah. So I think we can do that going forward, maybe before we do our recordings, just to get some ideas of what people think. Interesting enough, the poll before that, which is like to gear up the podcast as we released, and the question I put in is what's people's favourite season of Next Generation? I got over 100 votes. I think it's 150 or something. And the season we're reviewing right now, I've got the least amount of votes.
Great.
So that's good, isn't it?
Stick with it.
Yeah. Season 3's got the highest, and I think it was season 4 after that.
Okay.
So it's the most popular season. So yeah, it seems like season 3, 4, and 5 seems to be the ones that people seem to tend to vote as their favourite.
It definitely picks up after season 2, though.
Yeah. But I think some good ones, and this was a good episode, I thought.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought of this episode as well, and we'll be back for another exciting episode to review.
We will indeed.
Yeah, of season 2. Take care.